Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV. So, you guys, finally, we get to do the full review of the Mommy Club. We're going to talk about what happened in episode 3, season 2, episode 3, you guys. So, it's finally Paris's party, and Uhappy is not happy. About the decor at the party. You guys, listen, we do the full review on this channel. We talk about every scene, everything that happened in the scene. If you're not the person for that kind of stuff, this is not a video for you. Okay, don't come with the nonsense in the comment section. We don't take nonsense here. So finally, Paris's party is coming, you guys. I was looking forward to seeing Paris being the center of attention because I just felt like, that season, last season, we didn't see that child in a good way. I felt like she was overlooked. At some point, you guys, I feel like she really wanted her mom. But she wasn't getting the attention. Every time that we will be seeing Happy shooting a scene with her family, it will be looking like the child is trying to get her attention and she's giving her none. Okay. So I was looking forward to this party so that I can just see what happens when it's all about Paris. Okay. Because I feel like the older kids get all of the attention when it comes to Happy. So I was disappointed, you guys, that we were not going to see the party because what happened is that the party is supposed to be an outdoor party, and umuntu decorator comes, uh, does a setup. Okay, listen, you guys. For anybody else, I thought that setup was not so bad. Okay, but it wasn't anything special either. It was like that lady just came with her stuff, like tables and chairs and balloons, and just put them there, and then she left. I was like, I also felt like Happy felt because I felt like it's Happy's event. Also, it's an event that is going to be on a mommy club. That lady should have done her her best to make sure that she represents herself well and she represents her business well. So I don't know, you guys. I was wondering even you could say how much did it cost to Happy to do all of that? Okay, like she was happy saying Happy with Ene, she's out of the hood, but that party felt like it's the hood. Election Mabenza like the best party. That is the party that they would do. So as much as I felt like it's still cute, and the child was not going to notice, to be honest with you guys, because a lot of the times it's very easy to make umntwana happy when you're doing their birthday, the balloons, the jumping castle, the other kids being there. Paris would have been happy, but I also did get why Happy was not happy, you guys. And also, I feel like because they did it at a place where the grass was not green, because that's one of the issues that she had. Bekutshani nje obuqothukile somewhere. So it didn't look nice. Okay, so she wasn't happy about it. So when she gets there, I think she gets there, and her friend Ujabulile gets there as well with her kids, and they're looking at the decor as or something. And she's like, "This is not it. This is not what I asked for. I was expecting something more spectacular, I guess, because this is Paris's party. Okay, she's going to be wearing. Remember when they were buying her the dress? They bought her the dress that nobody else in South Africa has worn. So this is that kind of a party. So when Jabrila comes now, she's like, "Is it finished?" Okay, because I guess it really didn't look finished. And guys, I kind of did get why Uhappy cancelled that party because, of course, you guys, the other mummies are going to talk about her. I think she was worried about the other group, Abonunurai or Ratile. What are they going to say? Because, of course, it's Happy. They're expecting the party to be, standard, so it wasn't. So, but Mrs. Mops, when she comes, she says, "Listen, girl, I don't see anything wrong here. I don't think that Mrs. Mops was telling the truth. I think that she could see it doesn't look as beautiful as everybody expected, but I think that she was trying to be encouraging to her to be like, I don't even see there's something wrong with this party. Just, let the party go on because your child is still going to have fun." And Uhep was like, "Listen, I don't want to be judged by the other moms, so I would rather not have this party. She even ended up crying, you guys. I can imagine the frustration because you've invited people and there is food already. Everything else is ready except for for the venue. It's not well decorated or it's not decorated to your satisfaction. So it ends up being a situation where she's like, you know what? Rather than have people come here and they judge me and I'm not feeling good anymore because I'm not happy about what they've done. And the deco lady, I think she had left, you guys. And I think that when Happy came and was asking her, is this it? She should have been like, what else do you want? What else can we do to make the space better if you're not happy with what we've done? But apparently she was like, no, this is what you asked for. So, that's all that you get. And I'm guessing that she had already paid because a lot of these people, when they come for deco at a party or at an event, they ask for money first before they actually work. So she most likely had paid already for that party. Anyway, you guys, even though they were trying to comfort her to say, listen, it's not that bad. Well, Mrs. Mobs, because Shablila was also like, it doesn't look good. And Mrs. Mobs was like, the party can still go on. Nuhep was like, no, it can't go on. She ends up calling the other ladies, no Zipo, Nunurai, Ratile, Miss Manche, all of them had not arrived yet. So all of them, she called them to say, listen, there's no party. It was unfortunate, you guys, because imagine if you woke up and prepared your kids to go to a party. And also, you've been telling your kids, maybe the whole week you've been talking about going to the party. The kids are excited that they're going to the party. They're all dressed because it really felt like she's canceling last minute because other guests had already arrived. And now you're getting a call that there is no party. Now you have to tell your kids there's no party. So yeah, I can imagine that it was disappointing. She even says, you guys, at the end, she says that, you know what, I should have just hired Nunurai because Nunurai does nice events. She's done very nice events for herself. And Nunurai does say in the direct session, she should have just called me. Okay. I like the fact that uHappy admitted ukuthi yazini fanele ngabe ngivele ngafonela uNunurai, the event would have gone well. You guys remember Nunurai did her son's event. She did her son's event, the very first birthday that we saw, where they spent, was it 150,000 that they spent on a birthday party. So yeah, I'm sure that it would have been a great party had she just called Nunurai, but I guess there was pride there because they're not getting along right now, you guys. So listen, was it Voice, the friend Mrs. Mobs, the one that arrived first with the kids? They get to have a conversation on the side. Apparently, she has an issue with Ratile and doesn't understand why. Or Happy had invited Ratila because Ratila had made that statement about Happy, saying whether Happy lives or dies, it doesn't change the price of bread or something like that. So she was still upset about what had been said about Happy, you guys. Okay. But I'm guessing that she is like more upset than Happy is because Happy didn't have a problem inviting her. She was like, listen, I was inviting everybody. She is part of this group. So I wasn't going to leave her out. That's why I invited her to the party. Listen, you guys, I'm not sure. Is Jablila going to be, it's not Jablila, it's Vuyiswa. Who am I confusing her with? Okay. It's Vuyiswa, not Jablila. Is she going to be part of the show, or maybe she is trying to indirectly audition herself for the show? Because I felt like she is, it's almost like she was wanting to take opportunities to talk about the other ladies that were not there. Maybe she wants the producers to be like, yeah, you are going to be part of the show. I'm not sure, you guys, if she was introduced as one of the newbies, but I did feel like it kind of feels like she would love to be part of the show. Anyway, you guys, if part ends up not happening, abantwana Happy, they arrive later on. Mabefika nabo, the first one is like, this is not on. It doesn't look like the kind of party that my mom would throw. Okay, and then Happy is like, you see, this is what I was talking about. Anyway, Mrs. Mobs hangs around a little bit because I guess she can see that Happy is not happy, and she's trying to make sure that she's okay before she leaves. I'm kind of feeling like, because at the beginning, you guys, I wasn't feeling like friendship got happy, Mrs. Mobs is genuine. But I feel like they are trying to build something. So they might actually end up becoming like true friends. So I like that, you guys. I like that. I feel like genuinely, Mrs. Mops was concerned about Happy. She really wanted her to, let go of the imperfections of the party and let the party go on. And even when she realized that, what, Happy is still not okay. Okay, let me not go with everybody else. Let me just make sure that she's okay. And then I can leave later on. So you guys, the next thing it was Uno Zippo, no Mrs. Mobs, Mrs. No Zippo, Mrs. Mobs, and Happy and their family. So it's them, the kids, the nannies. No Zippo has invited them to her house just to hang out, you guys. I kind of feel like Uno Zippo is participating a little bit more than Mrs. Sunday because they're both newbies. I feel like she is showing up more, and we've definitely seen her on more scenes than Mrs. Sunday. I'm just still wondering where Mrs. Sunday is. We are in episode 3, and I haven't seen much about her. It's a weird thing, you guys. We don't even see her in the diary session commenting much about what's happening, because even though the other ladies didn't come to Happy's party because the party didn't happen, but they were still making comments about the party in the diary sessions. So it's strange that we're not seeing her. The same way that we don't see much of Miss Mancha. Miss Mancha only comments when it has to do when she's showing up for a scene because she's a friend of the show. But with Mrs. Sunday, I'm just wondering what's happening there, you guys. Anyway, so they're hanging out. The kids are there. They're coming with the nannies. And of course, we're meeting a new nanny here. Kanozipho Thulisile Zungu. She's from here in KZN. She's been with them for 14 years, has 3 kids back at home. The kids live with her mom. And so we did have a scene where the nannies were just talking about, life issues and getting to know each other. They always end up talking about the men, the fact that all of them are single and they have trouble finding partners and all of that, you guys. I thought it was a cute scene that we saw between the nannies, you guys. So I like that. And then also we had a cute scene here where the kids were hanging out. It was uh, Happy's 2 older daughters, and then Coco, who is Nozipo's daughter. They were hanging out too because, of course, they had come to her house. So they were just talking about general stuff, the boyfriend, the snakes that Happy's Happy's daughter bought last. Remember when she said she wanted a snake for her birthday? So they told her that she was like, you know what? I thought I liked snakes, but I actually don't really, you guys. So the ladies sit down now to talk, and obviously the topic is a Happy's party. Why it didn't happen? Because Nozipo didn't get to come to the party. She was one of the ladies that was called to say, "Listen, the party is cancelled. We're not gonna have it because we're having some issues with the deco." And so Unozipo was like honest to say, "Listen," because they asked her, "If you came there and there were things that were not on point with the party, would you have judged Happy?" And she said, "Yeah." She says, "Most likely I would have judged her if I got there and isn't away, not in place, or the party didn't look like a happy party because happy." And they just laughed about that, you guys. Mrs. Mobs still insists that she didn't see anything wrong with the party. And I don't know, you guys, I can't, there were moments where I was feeling like Mrs. Mobs is not being honest. She's just trying to be nice to her friend. But then there were moments when I was like, maybe she's just being shady, because sometimes with Mrs. Mobs, you never know. But they're having fun just sitting down and talking. They end up talking about Nunurai and Miss Manche's part. I like the fact that you guys, even though the ladies are not getting along, but they can actually make like positive compliments about the event, because of course they were not getting along at the event, but they were able to say, "Listen, you guys, that event was really, top notch." Okay, it was a really, really nice event. Of course, they were surprised. Also, Miss Mancha was there collaborating with Ununurai on the event. But nonetheless, they said, all of them said, "Well, that was a nice party." Okay. In fact, Unozipo even said, "You know what? I actually think the reason that you canceled your party is because you were coming from Nunurai's party, which was perfect. And then when you thought about it, you were like, when you thought about it, you were like, we're coming from that party that was so perfect. Now I'm coming to mine that is not so perfect." and they're going to talk about me, and they were laughing about that. And I do think that, you guys, she was under pressure because everybody had just attended this really amazing party, the launch, what was it, the flowers and whatever, fashion and flowers was it called. And now they're coming to a party that has uchani obu brown. Mrs. Mom did say, "Good, you know what? Had they had, if they were able to get like fake grass, like fake green grass, everything would have gone well with the party. She wouldn't have had a problem with continuing with the party. The only reason was actually the grass. I actually think that, you guys, the grass would have made a whole lot of difference. It would have made that thing look totally different. So maybe she would have gone on with the party had they had the fake grass. Now, you guys, they get to talk about Mrs. Sunday, and they were saying that it, Unozip was saying, Mrs. Sunday was saying, she's not used to, having to be at this event and making small talks. So the event was not as comfortable for her. And I guess, you guys, I don't know, but I mean, I guess she's going to struggle because when they do reality shows, it's really about them just attending events and dinners and lunches and going on trips. And you have to make effort to get to know these ladies if she doesn't know them already, and making friends with them. And that's where conflict is created as well, when you're trying to get to know this one and then you say this about that one. And that's where you participate in a reality show. So when you are not somebody that likes to talk to people, I don't know if it will work for you. Okay. And also, Nozipo was asking about the tension. She said that there was tension at the event. Mrs. Bob says, listen, there was no tension. I think there was a little bit of tension because, of course, for an example, Mrs. Mops used to be friends with Miss Manche. And you remember Miss Manche when she was asking her about her kids, how are your kids? But she did not ask back. You could say, yeah, I'm okay, but my kids are okay. How are your kids? So there was a little bit of, I don't know if I should say tension, but it was like weird energy. But Mrs. Mops insisted, listen, I was friendly to everybody. I spoke to everybody, and I participated where I was supposed to participate. So I don't think that, I didn't feel any tension. Okay. Then, you guys, they move on to talk about Barbara. Okay. So, listen, you guys, I do feel like it was uncomfortable for Mrs. Mops and Nozipo to participate in a conversation about Barbara because obviously it is gossip, okay? And everybody on a reality show is always trying to prove that they're not gossipers, okay? So they are talking about Barbara because Happy is trying to tell them, listen, Ratile lied about Barbara getting another job or starting a business. That's not what happened. Barbara is actually not working. Now, Mrs. Mops, I think that the reason they're uncomfortable because even they themselves have their own nannies. And I think they're looking at that situation thinking, this could be me because your nanny can quit her job and then go around talking about you and making all kinds of stories. So when Ohappy is telling them, because listen, there is no business. La Marketini, I tried to get Barbara to come and do measurements at my house because, listen, you guys, part of me felt like Ohappy is just being messy because how was she living at the house without curtains for so long? Okay. And but at the reunion, she had said it when they said to Barbara, when they said that Barbara was doing the curtain or making the curtains, she said to Barbara, Barbara, I actually need curtains at my house, so I will call you to come help me. Okay. So I can't figure out, you guys, whether she really did need the curtains because I feel like part of it was just her being messy, because what would be the reason if your friend, okay, if somebody that was your friend had a worker that quit and this worker is telling some story about how they were fired, why are you getting together with that person except to be messy? Okay, so I did feel like Happy was just being messy, but at the same time, she had said it at the reunion that she was going to call Barbara. And also, Masafiki Barbara, there was no measurements for any curtains, okay? And also, you guys, they played a clip because I thought that at the reunion it was Ratile that had come up with the curtain story, okay? And it wasn't. Ratile said that Barbara had gone on to explore other opportunities. And then Maple asked Barbara, Barbara, what are you doing now? And then Barbara was like, I went back to the job that I used to do. And it does look like she's trying to come up with something while she's sitting on that couch. She says, no, I went back to the business I used to do, which is making curtains. Okay. So then she tells them, well, listen, Barbara is saying there's no curtain company. She was fired from the job. She's unemployed right now. That whole story of the curtains was just a story that was made up at the reunion. Okay. I think the ladies were confused as to why would Ratile lie about that if Kuguti Barbara got fired. And she's like, you know what, maybe it's the thing that they agreed with the nanny to say, this is what you will say. Maybe she's helping her to start a business. And Uhepi's like, no, that's not what they're doing. Okay, that's not what she did. She fired the nanny and they accused her of some things. And then right now she's not working and looking for a family. Uhappy is talking as if she is trying to get Barbara a job because she says to the ladies, listen, you guys, if you guys have people that you know that need somebody, Barbara is looking for a job. So Mrs. Bob is like, okay, I'll tell Manche, I'll ask Manche because maybe she knows somebody. But I feel like the other ladies, Uno Zippo and Mrs. Mops did not want to gossip about that situation because that thing can happen to anybody. And it's very hard to know who is telling the truth. Okay. Is the nanny telling the truth or is Ratile telling the truth by saying, no, we went our separate ways? It was, her wanting to do other things with her life. But I do believe I do believe with Barbara, you guys. But maybe because Bona they haven't heard from Barbara, which they would have no reason to because they're not friends with Barbara. If your friend says, my nanny is no longer working for me, why would you be trying to get hold of a nanny? What would be the reason for that? Okay, so that's why it looks messy. Even Mrs. Mopswell is like, you know what? This is like a loaded gun for Happy, and she's just going to wait for the right time to use it. Okay. So even Mrs. Mobs thinks that it's messy that Happy is in communication with Ratile's nanny. I think that you guys there is a little bit of the messiness there. I don't know, you guys. I question whether she really needed the curtains. Okay. So now, Mrs. Mops ended up telling the ladies that she's organizing this trip. I think it's like a weekend away at Mahali's, and everybody is going to be invited. So they're going to be spending time together. Okay. And I don't know, you guys, usually in a reality show, I look forward to a trip, but I feel like on the Mommy Club, whoever in the crew is supposed to push them to talk about issues is not doing a good job because conversations are not flowing and they're not able to get them to talk when they don't want to talk. It's like showing up at work and just sitting at your desk and not doing the job that you're supposed to do because reality show is about interacting with each other. So I feel like on the Mommy Club, when they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk. So you can move from a really nice and exciting episode to a really boring episode, all because people don't want to talk. Okay. So even in this episode, you guys, it was flowing because we were coming from Happy's party. She canceled the party, all of the drama of canceling the party. We moved to Nozipo having invited the two mummies to a house. There was a conversation, the nannies, the kids, and then it was them. And then we move on to now at the trip. Okay, they're arriving separately. Obviously, Mrs. Mob arrived first. That place was nice, you guys. I saw something written Mount Grace, like at the gates. I don't know if there is the name of of the place, and it looked really nice, you guys. It looked like a nice place that you can go to, just to relax. Okay, so now Mrs. Mobs arrives first and then Nozipo arrives. And listen, you guys, that's why I didn't believe it when Zama was saying on Real Housewives that people, places, restaurants didn't want her to have a event at places because they don't want to be associated with Real Housewives. And I'm like, any business will take a risk with Real Housewives, okay? Because that show is going on Showmax. And after that, it's going, is it NBC that buys Housewives franchise? Like nobody will say no to their business being on a reality show like that. So this place, they were like, you know what, this wives are coming, these mummies are coming, Showmax is coming over here. We're going to make sure that we have everything in place, the way that they welcomed them, and then they will drive them to their rooms. And then when they get there, you get to these places, they give you a key, Usbonel, and then they're like, the room is like, you turn right, you turn left, and then you go up the stairs, and then you go here, the back Pezela to the room. They show you a room. They show you, uh, you know, they're welcoming at that place. It makes you feel like you want to go to that very same place, the way that they did it. And I was like, these people understand their own showmates, okay? So it made me feel like that. It looks beautiful, you guys. And then Nunurai, Ratila, and Mrs. Sande drove all in the same. I think they drove in the same car to the place, so they arrive at the same time. I guess Miss Mancha is not joining them. Okay, I kind of feel like I've changed now. I want Miss Mancha to come. I kind of do want new Miss Mancha to come. So you guys, they all get there. I guess Mrs. Mobs had gifts for them, some morning or night gowns, whatever you call it, and branded with their names. I thought it was a cute uh, gift. Okay, now everybody thinks that is cute, and they're all being polite about whether they like a gift or not. Somebody organized you a gift, okay? It has your name on it, okay? So everybody is excited except for, I think Nono Rai was the one that said, yeah, it's nice, but it looks cheap, and the workmanship on it is not. And then, but the person that really felt like this lady is fake was Ratile. Because Ratile is like, yo, this thing looks like it's a rush job, what. But then she picks up a phone and calls Mrs. Mobs. Oh my God, thank you so much for gifts. You amazing. You've outdone yourself. I'm like, how has she outdone herself when you said the gifts look rushed and cheap and whatnot, and it's just not your kind of thing. But then you are calling her to say, oh my God, the gift is so amazing. I'm like, Mrs. Mops, when she was arriving and they were saying that there's snakes in that area, she was like, you know what? We have a few snakes in our group. I think Gratile is that snake because how can you be fake like that? Anyway, you guys, they all arrived and they're supposed to have dinner. They're supposed to have a dinner as a group, which is what they have as the last scene, because this is what I'm saying when I say on the Mommy Club, you can get a really good scene, you can get like a really boring scene because sometimes they just don't talk. Like there's no reality show, there is a good reality show, but people don't talk to each other. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't even understand people that are shooting the show. Like they would shoot people sitting at the table saying nothing to each other and actually post that as an episode, as part of the episode. Well, like people just sitting there for like 5 minutes saying nothing to each other. I don't understand that. Like, get them to talk, do something. Just tell them, guys, this is a work trip. It's not, you're not here. Just your husbands didn't pay for this trip. We paid for it. So we're the ones that paid for this trip, and the reason we paid for you to come here is so that you can talk. So get to talking. If you need to give them talking points, then give them talking points, guys. You need to address this issue and this issue and this issue at this table, and then tomorrow when you sit again for dinner, you need to address this and this and this and this, so that you can get a good reality show. This thing of them, because now they're looking all glammed up to go and have dinner, and they sit there, but nobody's saying anything to each other. Okay. I was like, so why what are we supposed to watch? Okay. I think the trip is going to be boring, you guys. I think so. I think the trip is going to be boring. I don't know, you guys. They might shock me in the next episode, but I think it's going to be boring. There's no way that they can get good scenes from the trip if people are not going to interact with each other. After that dinner, they'll probably all of them are probably going to go to their rooms and rest in their rooms. So if they don't talk to each other, then how are we going to get a good show? So yeah, somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do when it comes to shooting this show, and as a result we're not getting good sense. But yeah, we'll see. We'll give them a chance and watch the next episode. Anyway, you guys, that's all that happened in episode 3 of the Mommy Club. You guys, sorry I took so long to do this review, but we will catch up eventually. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngithanda kakhulu.